Hello, everybody, and welcome back to some more racing here on the High Velocity Racing Network. We've got the truck series here again tonight, and as you can already see, it looks a little bit different this time around. We're going to be making some right and left turns tonight. We're going to be racing here at Watkins, Glen International. Looking forward to it. Of course, we all know, if you are a fan of our league in general, we all know that I'm very fond of the road courses, so I'm excited to call this one. I wish I could be out there, of course, but nonetheless, I'll take watching it. I got Will is going to be jumping up in and out of the booth today. Not as a whole lot of responsibilities with the flying stages here on the road courses, so he'll be kind of popping in and out. I just got a text from our other co-host Raymond Hanneman that he is currently stuck in a closed car wash with all the doors locked around him and nobody's there. Don't know how that happened or how he managed that, but that's where he's at, so here we are. But nonetheless, we are going to get into qualifying here at Watkins Glen. There's a couple people I want to keep my eye on. KT McCann is one of them, Sean Happick another. Looks like those two are out on track right now. But looking back at the results from the practice, it looks like Bryce Tucker and Sean Wilder were the top two. I believe Happy was up there in the top 10 on pace in the practice. I think Mike was up there as well. So those are the couple names that I know I for sure saw. But yeah, you know, Bryce is another road course guy. He came from the road scene, and he's been making some waves here on the road courses in the truck series. So he's going to be looking to repeat that again. And then Sean Happick as well has just been, you know, the consistent guy. He's not had the winning speed, but he's been in the top 5, I believe, for the other two. So see if that is a trend that continues here today.
Yeah, you know, the funny part is I actually sat down at the, you know, in the rig and everything, put my gloves on like I was all ready to race. And then I remembered, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm not racing tonight.
Yeah, it's we were just talking about it off stream. That's me and Will are actually talking. That's why stream started up a little bit later as far as coverage goes. But yeah, we were just talking about how much we missed the trucks. I mean, you guys saw it last season with him and I, and how close the battles were. And you know, I have fear of missing out in the trucks as it is anyway. But you know, especially anytime we come to a road course, I'm just like, I'm a crackhead, man. I'm scratching my neck. I'm fiending for it, man. I wish I could be out there. And I ran a handful of laps, did some practice with the K&W guys, and of course, for those of you that are in here, I sent that little video out. And yeah, man, Watkins Glen is a great track. I'm looking forward to it in the Cup Series. We just came off Sonoma, but I think we've got Chicago Street before we even get to the Glen in the Cup Series, so a little ways to go. But yeah, man, it's like you said, I really wish I could be out there. One of these streams, man, I'm just gonna do a freaking live in-car broadcast. I'm gonna do Daryl Waltrip's grid walk, but instead I'm gonna be on the actual track while I do it.
Right. Yeah, and Watkins Glen is 45 minutes, maybe an hour with traffic and everything from me. I've been there multiple races, multiple times. As a matter of fact, my mom lives like right down the road from it, and it's definitely a fun track. It's one of my better road courses, if you will. I don't consider myself a road course racer in any sense, but they can be fun depending on the track, not including Sonoma, but or any street course for that matter. But this is definitely one of the funner ones. These guys are going to have a blast out there. We'll be keeping an eye on turn 1 for sure. That's usually one of the major corners that takes a lot of people and just spits their truck right back out. Bus stop is another one. There's usually quite a few wrecks there, but hopefully these guys can keep the rubbers on the asphalt and give us a good show.
Yeah, and we saw it there in qualifying, watching Sean Happick's lap. You know, it doesn't matter too much for the race, but here in qualifying, if you go further, you know, than about a truck and a half off, or really half a truck off from the rumble strips at the end of turn 1, you do get that 0x, which does disallow your lap here in iRacing. So Sean going to be stuck with his lap. I believe it was a 113 and some change. Still not a bad lap, but I know he was definitely looking forward to trying to improve that, as we see Travis George right now take the top spot with a 113.1. We do have Bryce Tucker out on track, though, however, for his first lap of qualifying. It's going to be aggressive here in the bus stop, which you have to use the curbs, get those extra rotations. So it looks like from this point of view, he gets a good run through the bus stop, gets a little loose into the carousel. Gonna have to try to hold on to it here. It looks like he does. See if he can get a good run here. Yeah, good run here on exit as well. So Bryce Tucker, this looks like a good lap. I did mention Sean Wilder, but I did forget to mention he does have an EOL and he'll be barred from qualifying being on the IPL list. So that's going to be a quick driver that's going to have to work his way through the field. But so far, everything's looking smooth here for Bryce Tucker. He's coming to the penultimate turn now. Coming onto this long front straight. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, the track is actually surprisingly pretty cool as well. Looks like we got about a 69 degree
Giggity.
as far as temperature, but it's 75 on the track. So
yeah, I think Sean's got this session set up to early morning. So the track is got some grip in it. Like I said, I did some practice with the K&W guys, and the track conditions are pretty easy, but they can definitely get you if you're not paying attention. The carousel, I think, is another corner tonight that we're gonna have to pay mind to. Not for the same reason as like turn 1 or the bus stop. We know those are gonna kind of be calamity corners, but you can really get loose here in the carousel, and you can really burn up that left rear. So that's gonna be a focal point tonight as well. Guys managing their tires here over the course of the whole lap, but especially there in the carousel. One thing that I was talking to Mike and Chris about at a track like this is it's so important to really make sure you nail your corners right, because every corner here for the most part is like a 90 degree to a straightaway. You've got the long stretch before the bus stop, you've got this long straightaway after the carousel, and then of course the little front stretch here, or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of long straightaways on this track, so cornering is going to be very important here.
yeah, entrance is important for sure, but you're right. The exit is the most important, because you want to get that launch off that corner and get that good long straightaway speed here. That's one reason why I do like this track. It's considered a road course, but there's a lot of straights on this track, and it's hilly, but not as hilly as Sonoma, which is why I like it. Sonoma, there's just a lot of hills that are invisible. You can't see them coming, and you can get your vehicle airborne real easy. Here, it's pretty laid out. You know where the hill is, especially up the S's. There's a pretty good sized hill there. The only other hill I can really think of can really play a factor is, like I said, into turn 1. You come down that hill into turn 1, and you can overshoot real easy, and that's why there's a big runoff there. It's because it's happened so many times by so many drivers.
Well, even the carousel too. I mean, it's downhill, but not only is it downhill, but if you get off of that inside groove, that the whole outside of the carousel is also off camber as well. So if you don't tuck that rumble strip in the carousel and really hug that corner tight, and you get on that outside line, you're just gonna plow again, because it's off camber. And we actually kind of see it there with Thomas Long. He overshoots the carousel a little bit, and it's just so hard to get that car to go back to the inside of the corner, and you just lose a lot of time. You lose a lot of speed on that straightaway, and it's very detrimental. But yeah, like you said, turn 1, on track, like, it doesn't look as bad, but I mean, you really get a good look here of the S's, how steep that incline is. But on the entrance of turn 1, just with how hard that decline is, it really makes that braking zone a lot more tricky than it should be.
Yeah, and carousel, if I had to pick one spot that I'm not good at on this track, it's the carousel. I always I get that right down there, like you said, to that rumble strip on the corner, but I don't know. I always take it a little more cautious than I think I need to, especially on the exit, because again, like you said, you can lose the rear end of the vehicle real easy on that exit, and I don't know. That's probably the one detrimental part of the track for me, is that carousel. Everything else I'm pretty decent at, but it's going to be fun out there for these drivers for sure. There are flying stages tonight too, so there's not going to be any stacking back up for cautions. No full course cautions unless something real crazy happens, and I'll make that call from there. But 99.9% of the time that never happens. There's no blockages, so hopefully everybody, like I said, could keep it clean out there tonight. We get a good show, and I'll be up in the blimp watching the whole thing. So
yeah, like you said, no full course cautions unless we have something disastrous, but even then we have the luxury of it being a simulator, and they can always just hold the escape button if need be. But we'll go ahead and kind of take this time. We got a little bit of time left here in qualifying. I think all of the drivers that are eligible to qualify or are going to qualify have done so already. So looking at our race information here, we're going to have 43 laps tonight. Stages are going to be at lap 11 and 22. Now, a difference here in the Cup Series, or excuse me, in the Truck Series than our Cup and our Xfinity is these stages are going to be flying. So at the end of the stages, we will not be re-racking the field. The drivers will just continue on with their laps, and that will be that. I guess we do need to get confirmation on pits closing. I would imagine, I don't know. We can get that answer.
I don't believe we closed them. Since they're flying stages, we didn't close them. I believe on the last road course they did, which was Charlotte, I think.
Gotcha. I do trust you, but I'm going to get clarification really quick. Hey, what's up, Sean? Hello? Old man probably taking a pee. But yeah,
100%, man.
We'll get confirmation on that. He'll hear us talking. He'll know he's up there. But yeah, and then same as usual, 3 tire sets. Nothing different there. But yeah, man, the Glen, it's gonna be an interesting race, and I'm definitely looking forward to calling it and seeing what happens. There he is. Hello.
What's up?
Welcome to the booth. I just had a quick question for you.
13.
Well, I have another question for you.
14.
I have another question for you.
Are we closing pits before the end of the stage?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay.
They stay open.
Cool.
Yep, 10-4.
Sir.
All right. Thanks, Happy. We'll get you back to your team.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for the clarification. Good luck.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes, there you go. No pits are closed, but we are at that time. We are going to go ahead and go with driver intros while William Kern does the driver information and driver meeting from them. So we will get this starting grid here for you all right about now. Starting on the pole position here at Watkins Glen, we've got the number 7 of Bryce Tucker, followed by Justin Nava, who's made a few appearances here in the league. He's kind of been a little selective in the truck race, but nonetheless, he has been pretty solid when he has ran, and he does get himself up to P2 on the front row. So shout out to Justin Nava. Starting on the inside row here, or the right-hand side at the road course, we've got the number 16 of Travis George with the number 51 of Brandon Dayhoff starting in row number 2. In row number 3, we've got the number 19 of Andre Carvalho here in his second season. He's another guy that has come from the road course side of things, so strong qualifying effort for him, getting himself qualified in the top 5, followed by the number 9 of Mike Kufel, P6. Sean Happy going to round out your 7th place spot with Bobby Grady here in P8, as well as KT McCann and David Meacham. Rounding out your 5th row of the night. In row number 6, we've got the number 91 of Aaron Douglas. And I believe Kyle Rogers is on his outside. Yes, he is, the 27 of Kyle Rogers. So it looks like he is going to be starting from the pits. Okay, in row number 7, we've got the number 93 of Thomas Long with the number 40 of Eugene Hawk. And just behind him, the number 99 of Sean Wilder and the 60 of Brad Dewar. Rounding out row number 9, we've got the 77 of Trey Young and the 21 of Andy Berry. And in rounding out row number 10, we've got Matthew Chase and Brad Dewar. I think I got a little bit confused with some of these guys not getting caught up to speed here, but Kenan Cook, Andy Berry, row number 11. Row 12, we got Dustin Bloodworth and Ryan Seabolt. We got Greg Moss and Aaron Creighton in 25th and 26th, and then rounding out the final starting position during the field here, we've got the number 11 of Frank Zimmel. And you heard it there from Happy before he left as well. Getting about 13 to 14 laps of fuel, so fuel not going to be an issue here in stage number 1, but they will have to make a pit stop before stage 1 and stage 2. We'll see what that looks like as far as strategy, if some of these guys elect to take tires, if they don't. See, the long line there on the left side of the screen. Again, quite a few drivers tonight on that IPO list unable to qualify, so that will determine why that row is as long as it is. Pace car working his way, going to be coming down pit road, I believe, this time. Maybe. Yep. Pace car's off. Green flag in the air. We are green flag racing here at Watkins Glen. Tucker looking to hold it on the inside there. I'm going to start to see everybody fan out 2 and 3 wide. Really important to get a good run through the S's here as well. Again, as we come to this long straight, coming into the bus stop. Looks like Travis George getting tight to the number 51 there, Brandon Dayhoff. Looks like they get through. Oh, Andre Carvalho goes around in the bus stop. Bob McGrady takes advantage of Happy slowing down for him. A couple cars, Sean Wilder off. Everybody keeps it pointed straight though, so detrimental there for the number 19 of Andre Carvalho. Bryce Tucker going to be leading lap number 1 here at Watkins Glen. Looks like for the most part, everybody pretty much single file. You see Ryan Seabolt and Trey Young now going 2 wide through the S's. Oh, Brad Dorr gets loose at the top of the S's. A little bit of contact with the 77. They do somehow manage to keep it straight. Could have been a lot worse for those 2 drivers. Bryce Tucker, though, looking to extend that lead over the 15 of Justin Nava. Really good job getting that truck slowed down. David Meacham now under a little bit of pressure from the 5 of Danny Gross. It looks like we may have had an incident here. Zachary Tyler. Yeah, just kind of like what Will was talking about. Carrying a little bit too much speed there in turn 1, unable to get the truck slowed down, and goes head on with the wall. Bryce Tucker now extending that gap to 2 seconds. Happy lost a little bit of ground. And we had that incident through the bus stop as he checked up, so he's going to be looking to try to get that back. Heard Mike was pretty critical of himself on the podcast, but so far he's in P5. Eugene Hawk, he's up 9 spots from where he started. Passes the 21 of Andy Berry and the 10 of Ryan Seabolt. KT McCann now under a little bit of pressure from Eugene. See if Eugene will make the move here in turn 1. Not quite close enough. Ooh, KT might have a slowdown from that as well. Unable to get slowed down through the bus stop. See Eugene trying to make the move on the outside. Yeah, it looks like KT having to serve that slowdown. Try to look and see if there's any other battles. And it looks like we've got one right here. The number 99 of Sean Wilder makes the move on Trey Young on the inside of the carousel. And now we might have an incident with Eugene. Let's see. Gets past KT. And there it is. Yeah, gets loose coming onto the straightaway. Gets the truck slowed down, so avoids any hard contact with any barriers or anything like that. But all that work that Eugene just put in to try to get around KT has now all gone away. As he loses a couple spots off that. Knocks that back down to P13. Wilder getting really aggressive here on the back bumper of Brad Dewar. Looks like Brad gets the better of him coming up through the S's. Wilder has a good bus stop though. Looks like he might have a little bit of damage on the right front of that truck. Yeah. Looks like Wilder has gotten into an incident at some point. I don't know how much that is affecting the performance of his truck. Gap kind of hovering though, just around the 3-second mark between Tucker and Nava. Looks like these trucks have already gotten into a little bit of lap traffic. See how they're able to navigate themselves around that. We do see Nava gets around the 29 of Zachary Tyler pretty clean, so not a lot of time lost there. See Happy making a move on Moss there. Moss just getting out of the way for these guys on the lead lap. Bobby Grady doing a solid job still. Trying to hold on there and run back down the 95 with KT McCann. Travis George has actually fallen. He's lost a spot to Dayhoff. Oh, then see, that's where it gets awkward right there, is when you have a truck that's slower as the 29 goes around in the bus stop. Yeah, when you do come up on a truck that doesn't take the bus stop as aggressively as you, it gets very tricky, especially with how fast the closing rate can be sometimes. It looks like Tyler may have gotten on the brakes a little bit hard trying to get out of the way, and we see him move the truck around. There you see the gap between Tucker and Nava. Back up to just over 3 seconds. Those two kind of running away though. They've got 7-second lead from Bryce Tucker to the 51 of Brandon Dayhoff. Bryce Tucker, Justin Nava, Brandon Dayhoff, Travis George, Mike Kufel, Sean Happett, KT McCann, Bobby Gray.
Oh, spin out right in front of the leader. Thomas Long went around.
Gotcha, yeah, and it looks like Tucker able to make it through. Loses about a 10th, but no real harm done there.
You know his heart skipped a beat though.
Well, I'm sure it did. I'll have to go back and take a look at this from his POV here. Yep, and another bus stop claims yet again another victim. Yeah, C kind of opens up for him, so still a little sketchy, but I'm sure we will see that at least a handful more times before this night is all said and done. But we do have the green and white checkered flag here, lap 10. Tucker looking to gain even more of a lead on Justin Nava in stage 1 here.
Yeah, unfortunately Nava ended up going a little too far off track, and I'm pretty sure he had to slow down a bit for the penalty on that one. Just the turn just before coming onto the front stretch.
Gotcha. Bryce Tucker coming around the penultimate turn now. Your race leader. Winner of stage number 1, the number 7 of Bryce Tucker. He's going to be followed by the 15 of Justin Nava, 51 of Brandon Dayhoff, Travis George, Mike Kufel. Rounding out for top 5 here in stage number 1. Sean Happick in 6th, Bobby Grady 7th. Eugene Hawk, P8. It looks like Aaron Douglas is going to get P9. KT goes into the pits. We'll double check the ruling on that one. Right along with Justin Nava here. Looks like Nava's actually going to bow onto pit road. We will ride along with our race leader instead, the number 7 of Bryce Tucker.
You know, in all honesty, too, with tires, that's not as big of a deal as fuel is really here. So some of these guys might decide to do some strategy and maybe take 2 or possibly no tires at all.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of 2 tires at the road courses. Personally, just the car, or the truck in this case, it just gets really unstable under braking with the difference in grip. But yeah, I mean, some people might try it. I mean, if anything, I would say at a track like Watkins Glen, I would maybe take left sides here, just because there are more right-handed turns than left. So possibly some strategy being played. We'll have to see how that ends up, panning out for these guys. If anything, I might take tires at the end of stage 2, if at all. I feel like you don't need them between 1 and 2, but you want to have a fresher set until the end.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Yep.
Let's stay on board here though with Bryce Tucker as he comes down the pits, and let's just see what the strategy looks like for Bryce Tucker here. It looks like, yeah, these guys are definitely in their fuel window, the top 4 on pit road right now. Watkins Glen, very easy to speed as well. Again, the pit road on a little bit of a decline going down a hill, so it is easy to creep at extra mile an hour. Do you see Tucker taking tires of some sort? Yeah, so Tucker going to take 4.
Yeah, so did Mike Kufel, I believe, took 4 as well.
That's actually going to give Justin Nava, is going to take the lead now from Bryce Tucker. We saw Nava pit just 1 lap prior. And it's
sorry, yeah, it was Justin Nava that took 4. I was watching, sorry.
Gotcha, okay. I was about to say, I didn't know that Nava was able to jump Tucker in the pits without taking tires, but looks like he is able to do so. But it does take another lap or 2 for these tires to get up to temp, and Nava's going to have that advantage. Hitting just a lap prior, those tires are going to be already up to temp. Tucker's going to have to let his tires get up, and looks like Sean Happick now being scored in 10th. I wonder if there's a handful of drivers that have yet to pit, or if maybe he made a mistake on pit road. Nava doing a good job, though, of not feeling the pressure just yet from Bryce Tucker. Gap to just 1.3 seconds now. Keep an eye on that over the course of this last lap and see if Tucker's able to make up any ground. But Nava actually gains a 10th in the bus stop. As we jump onto the 52 now, Sean Happick inching closer and closer to the number 9's rear bumper. Looking to make a move for that 7th place spot here. Got some lap traffic as well. We'll see how that plays fair in this battle. Both those drivers, it looks like they're maybe out of fuel. They are very, very off pace. But Mike and Sean able to get around them clean. Let's see Sean poking his nose on the inside, trying to force Mike into a mistake. Both those drivers make the corner, though. Yeah, Nava now starting to make up some more ground on Bryce Tucker. I just wanted to take a look at that. Happy gets a great run coming up the S's. Makes the move on Mike into the bus stop. Backs out, thinks better of it, trying to force Mike into yet another mistake. Mike holding on strong, though, so far. Able to hold on to that 5th place position. And as I say that, gets loose on the exit of the bus stop. Sean able to go around through the carousel. So Happy's going to take the spot. That bumps him up to 5th.
I gotta say, Brad Dorr ran out of fuel, and he is very lucky that that pit road goes downhill.
I was gonna say, yeah, Brad and there's another driver that was right there with him. They were very slow. I thought they were letting the leaders go by, and then the leaders got by, and their trucks just did not gain any speed. And I figured they had to have been out of fuel. But like you said, they definitely have the advantage of gravity in that situation. That is for sure. Eugene Hogg now making a pass on David Meacham. Nava, close call there with a lap truck.
Yeah, I think that lost Nava a little bit of time on that.
Kyle Rogers may have an issue here. I don't know if he's out of fuel or if he's got terminal damage, but he's very off pace. He comes to a rest on the backstretch. See him jump to the pits.
Man, what a stretch. You got Nava out front, Bryce Tucker about a second and a half back, and then Travis George in third is 17 and a half seconds back from there.
Yeah, those top two drivers have been able to run away with it thus far. Still a decent amount of laps left here to go, though. Not quite at the halfway mark, so...
Oh, yeah, anything can happen.
And you heard it there on board with Sean Happick. Those S's can get very squirrely, and corner is just about flat out, but not quite. You see him really working that throttle coming up the S's. Being very careful here on the application of it through the bus stop and down into the carousel as well. Again, this is the carousel, very easy for the truck to step loose. Sean, though, doing a good job keeping the tires underneath him. Coming to this heavy braking zone. And there you go. You see it hop on board just there on the last second. Justin Nava getting a little squirrely at the top of the S's. I really want to keep our eye on it. We saw a couple laps ago, Nava was really able to put the gap, or extend the gap, excuse me, through the bus stop. So Nava might be feeling just a little bit more comfortable through the bus stop than our pole qualifier here, the number 7 of Bryce Tucker.
Yeah, Nava's coming up to, you know, quite a bit of lap traffic there in front of them too, so we'll see if that allows Bryce to maybe catch up a little bit to him.
Yeah, the gap at 1.65 as Nava crosses the start-finish line. We'll keep an eye on that here at the end of this lap and see just how much that lap traffic affects him, if any at all. Aaron Creighton doing a good job. He gets out of the way safely. It looks like Bryce Tucker might catch him through the bus stop. That's going to slow Tucker down a little bit. Yeah, slows Tucker down tremendously. Loses about 8 or 9 tenths there in the bus stop. Now almost a second. And that's...
Oh, Nava goes off track though. Looks like he held on to it, but he was off track.
Yeah, it gets a little squarely coming in here, but able to hold on to it. The gap was 1.6 last time at the line. That now is just over 2 seconds, so about 4 tenths lost in total on that last lap for Bryce Tucker. Two to go here in stage number 2. Got to keep in mind here too, again, with some of the strategy we have going on tonight. Nava did pit a lap before Bryce Tucker.
Yeah, again, though, I don't think the tires are going to make too big of a deal here. As long as they don't really lose their rear end too much, they're not going to heat them rears up and wear them out too bad. It looks like they're keeping it pretty good, pretty straight. If it was maybe a 5 or a 6 lap difference, I'd say maybe, but being only a lap or 2, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference here. It's just a matter of when they both decide to come in for this last little stretch.
Well, and that's kind of what I was mentioning there with fuel. I mean, they pit with 13 or on lap 13. So if we were to go another 13 laps, they're going to have to pit again, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they're out of tires if they decide to take them again this round here. 77 sideways out of turn 1. Oh, Nava almost got him.
Close call. No harm, no foul. I believe this is the green and white checker flag here in stage number 2.
Yeah, pretty sure Nava's gonna have to check the fire suit after that one.
Yeah, we've had a couple close calls. I really see Nava committing to the bus stop.
Yeah, it's crazy how you can just get the right side of your truck to practically touch that wall almost, entering the first turn of the bus stop there. It's just crazy. And you gain so much time by doing that too.
Yeah, the bus stop is one of those corners that you have to really commit to, and the S's are kind of the same way. You have to really set yourself up very early for those corners. And there we go, Bryce Tucker not able to get Justin Nava here in stage 2, so Nava's going to win stage 2. Bryce Tucker P3, Travis George P3, Sean Happy going to be P4, Mike Kufel still trying to battle here with Happy for P5, Eugene P6, KT 7th, Douglas 8th, Grady 9th, and David Meacham running out your top 10. There you go, you can see Nava pit on lap 11, Tucker pit on lap 12. I'm going to keep an eye here as well on Sean Wilder, just in front of our race leader here, but he pit on lap 14. He did start with that EOL. He does have some pace in that truck. He pulled a fuel strategy out at the Kansas road course. Didn't come away with a win, but definitely helped advance his position. I wonder if that's something he can try to capitalize here at Watkins Glen as well, a little bit of strategy.
And wasn't Sean saying that they could make it 19? Wasn't it 19 he said?
He said 13 or 14.
Oh, did he? Okay, I must have misheard him.
Yeah, now again, that varies on the pace of these drivers. You know, again, Nava short pitting and Tucker's pitting on lap 12, so those guys running consistently faster lap times, they may just be burning more fuel. So
do you have anything in SDK that shows when some of these drivers pit last, who had the latest pit stop? Not
yes.
counting the ones that ran out of fuel, by the way.
Yeah, so it looks like KT just pit. You can take a look here and see pit lap the 18 for Brandon Dayhoff, and he was in around the 3rd spot, so he pit a few laps ago. KT pit on lap 21. As far as that, those are really the latest pit.
Gotcha.
The latest pit stops that we've had. And if that trend were to continue, Nava should be pitting any moment here. And Bryce Tucker's actually caught him in the interim of checking all that fuel strategy. I don't know if Nava got a slowdown or add a little bit of a moment. But looks like Nava, yeah, there he is. He makes his way down pit road. Tucker electing to go around for one more lap. But crucial moment here. Bryce Tucker does have some lap traffic ahead of him as well. So depending on where Nava re-enters the track, if he's got a little bit of open track in front of him, that may hold for an advantage.
I gotta say, man, if I was Nava, I wouldn't be taking tires here. I would just take fuel.
Yeah, but took the words right out of my mouth. We're gonna hop on board and see if we see that truck get jacked up. These guys do have their tire information.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yep. So that truck goes up. Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that call either myself, but Yeah, so he takes 4.
We'll see how that works out for him. He's one of the quickest ones out there, so. I know by the end of this, ooh, and he gets a little sideways there, cold tires. Like I was saying, by the end of this race, he's definitely going to be feeling them tires. He gets sideways again up the S's, almost hits the wall.
Yeah, that's going to cost him a lot of time. Tucker staying out one more lap as well. And what I was going to say, too, before Nava went down pit road is these guys have done a full stint now, so they have the tire data. So, I mean, they know better than us what their tires are looking like. But, yeah, I don't know that I totally agree with that tire call. I mean, them warm tires on these, the road courses compared to ovals, again, I'm not a road course driver at all, but I have found the trick that sometimes the warmer tires are just so much better than obviously the cold, newer tires. Really, I've seen some people take some road courses and not change their tires at all. Yeah, and I mean, the thing about it too is, yeah, the tires get up to 10, but you know, you've got a good, you know, depending on the road course and the pit speed and everything, you've got a good solid minute for those tires to cool down while you're on pit road as well. So, you know, they stay more at an optimal temperature than, you know, coming in with a fresh set off the wall. And, you know, different track, different series. But in the Cup Series a few weeks ago at Sonoma, I ended up taking tires at the end of stage 1, and it took me about 3 or 4 laps to get the car to feel normal again. And I didn't take tires the rest of that race. So exactly, yep. You're actually one of the ones I know to do that quite often. Not even worry about tires, man. Yeah, we'll see. Bryce Tucker now coming down pit road. Nava coming through the carousel. We'll have to keep an eye on these two.
The gap between Nava and Tucker is 24 seconds currently.
And you just coming out of nowhere. Glad that you were able to make it out of your locked car wash garage. But here we go. Bryce Tucker stopping in his box now. Let's see. I've heard of escape room like places you can go. I didn't know they had them at car washes too.
First time for everything.
Yeah, and Tucker takes tires here as well, so those drivers feeling something that we're not. But there we go. Bryce Tucker exiting. Justin Nava coming into the brake zone now in turn 1. Now remember, Nava lost a little bit of time coming up the S's on his out lap. He just lost some time there into turn 1 as well. He overshot it and came off the track some. I don't think it cost him too much, but at least a few tenths.
Now think about it though. Tucker's going to be on the new tires. Heat's not going to be in them yet, so he's going to be a little loose coming through these next couple turns.
And we're right on board here, Justin Nava, as he tries to track down our new race leader here once again of Bryce Tucker. We still got one more pit stop to go here as well, gentlemen, so this can get real interesting. Yeah, I gotta say, man, now obviously I wouldn't have taken tires there if I was Nava, but now that he's set with that, he needs to really take care of those tires at this point. I mean, keep Tucker in your sights, but don't overdrive the truck, man. Well, that's another thing too. You know, getting to Tucker is only half of the battle. That's not even really half the battle. That's only about a quarter of the battle. Getting around him is going to be the other part. So now, one thing here, I mean, I don't know what these drivers are running as far as overlays and whatnot, but one thing that kind of concerns me strategy-wise is if I'm Justin Nava, I may look to short pit here, get into our fuel window and just pit again and try to blend into a better spot of traffic. But looking at the track map here on the broadcast, there's really not a lot of clear space on the track to do that. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out. And again, if they elect to kind of stretch it as far as they can here, or if one of these two will kind of make an early call, get to their fuel window, and then just go full push from there. Yeah, the track is definitely covered, man. There's really not much of any place on this track that's clear.
Justin Nava with a good surge, though, into the bus stop. Able to kind of keep it around a 1.2 second gap currently up to Bryce Tucker in P1 there. So see how it goes this time by as Tucker's putting on a burner.
Yeah, I was actually going to kind of just say the opposite thing there. It looks like Nava might be driving just a little timid there after that kind of brief mistake that he had in the S's. I'd like to see him stay confident on the brakes and on the gas as well. That gap has now gone up from, it was 1.3 in the bus stop, and it's now up to 1.7 as they cross the line. So Tucker losing, or excuse me, Nava losing a little bit of time on Tucker there that lap.
Will be a good initiation from Nava in the bus stop, and then afterwards it Tucker started pulling away there. A little bit of lap traffic now in front of Nava, trying to get through that to get back up to Bryce Tucker. As Tucker's got some cleared track out in front of him for a bit.
Just Nava around at the top of the S's. Huge contact.
No. Oh man.
Gotta go
89
back and,
also contact with the leader. Moss got into the outside wall in the bus stop and hit Bryce Tucker.
Yeah, it looks like Bryce didn't get any damage out of that, but he definitely had to do a slowdown because of cutting that grass, which obviously wasn't his doing, but it was either that or hit 89. But here's the bad news. Right now, Tucker can really just cruise at this point. With Nava hurt as bad as he is, the next guy back is 21 seconds, almost 22 seconds back, which is Travis George.
And unfortunate, I'm looking at the incident here with Justin Nava. It looks like the 00 gets the right side wall coming up the S's, bounces across the track, and collects the right rear of Justin Nava. So lap traffic proving to be detrimental for both of our leaders here in this race. Tucker, fortunately, doesn't get the worst end of it as Nava does, but you just really hate to see that. That was a close battle. I was really looking forward to see how that was going to play out. But yeah, like you said, now with such a huge gap, all Bryce Tucker has to do is just wheel it around and get to the end here.
Yeah, it looks like there might have been a little bit of net code into that as well. It doesn't look like there was actually any contact, but I don't know. I think even without the net code, there would have been either way. But yeah, that's a shame, man. Nava had a heck of a race going there. Would have been really close there with Tucker at the end. But again, with Tucker out front, he's about almost 21 seconds out in the front, so he can really just kind of cruise it, take care of his tires, and just keep it clean the rest of this race. It should be in for him, man, unless somebody else has got something up their sleeve that we're not knowing about.
Yeah, noticing through the carousel right now as well, Travis George has passed a couple lap cars, and they're moving out of the way for him, trying to make sure that he gets that good run. So trying to close that gap down now to 21 seconds.
21 seconds. He's gonna need something just shy of a miracle to.
You know, if I've seen it here multiple times, to where the leader is overdriven, even though he's way out front, has overdriven the vehicle and just lost it on his own. So nothing is counted out at this point, not yet.
I'm pretty sure all three of us in the Cup Series have also sped on pit road and ruined our races this season.
Yeah, like I said, anything can happen at this point. I wouldn't count anybody out yet, but again, if I was Tucker, I would be I'd be taking it easy a little bit and just hoping everything falls in place. Let's talk about Eugene Hawk, though, man, the 40 driver. Started 18th. He's up to 5th right now, man, so a heck of a run for him.
Yeah, and I just want to preface, Ray, I don't know what you're talking about, brother. I haven't sped on pit road and ruined my race. I have sped, but I haven't ruined my race. P2 at Dover. That's probably all I was ever going to get anyway. Speak for yourself, brother. But anyway, yeah, Eugene Hawk up 13 spots. It looks like our next biggest mover is the 00 of Ryan Seabolt. He's up 11, so.
Yeah, Sean Wilder's right there, too. Up 6 positions from 15th to 9th. Again, he got that EOL at the beginning because he's on the IPL list, but a heck of a run for him. So some of these drivers have something to prove tonight for sure.
Brandon Dayhoff also up 1 position in the 3rd spot currently, chasing down Travis George. Just getting by 13 there. Everything's moving. There's a 13 of David Meacham. So good pass there, clean pass as he's tracking down Travis George currently.
And one thing to make note of now, 13 laps to go here, so I think these drivers are officially comfortably in their window, so we'll have to keep an eye on pit road and see if any of these drivers do elect a short pit and come down and try to get a little bit of an undercut and get an advantage here on this last little stint with just 13 to go.
Yeah, I'm hearing some chatter on the radio. There are quite a few taking positions of that and deciding to come down. 99 was one of them.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like, too, the track has opened up here quite a bit. We got a pretty big gap looking at the track map here, so if somebody can get down pit road and kind of just have a little bit of timing and luck go their way, they might be able to come out to some open track and try to take advantage of that. And that could go the other way as well. You could have a guy that does have some clean air and elects to pit and then gets caught up in some traffic. So we'll see what happens here.
Just over the radio, Brandon Dayhoff said he was pitting in this time by.
Yeah, so that's going to give Sean Happy net third right now. We've got Bryce Tucker coming through the carousel. Travis George still coming up the S's, so that just goes to show you how big of a gap that really is.
Aaron Douglas in the 91 truck, currently the fastest lap. The last 5 is running a 1:14, the fastest truck on track right now. He's sitting in 6th position, coming to the bus stop.
Bryce Tucker now making the move on Bloodworth, a little bit more lap traffic, and it looks like Tucker elects to stay out. See, we got Travis George coming to the penultimate turn. We'll see if he elects to go down pit road this time by. Looks like he's going to stay out. Eugene now up to 4th. Happy staying out as well. So our top 3 staying out. Eugene Hawk stays out as well. And Mike Kufel stays out. So our top 5 still electing to stretch this out on fuel just a little longer at least. 11 to go here at Watkins Glen.
Andy Berry very slow off of the last turn there, coming to the front stretch, almost getting loose in front of KT. Able to regain control, though, to go 2x2 going down. There's a 60 of Brad Dewar gets a little tight, or blocks up his brakes and overshoots the turn 1.
And Tucker stays out. He's going around at least one more time. Jump back now to Travis George coming through the carousel.
Oh, spin in front of the leader. Looks like it might be 30 around, and leader gets by, but just barely.
Travis George stays out again. As does Happy. And Eugene.
KT coming in this time by. Another spin on the switchback there between turn 6 and turn 7. I think that was the 31 of Matthew Chase. Spun around there. He gets it back going straight.
That might have been 30, because I think 31 is sitting right in front of the leader right here. Oh, no, that's a 2-car. You know, there's so many white trucks out there with orange tires now.
I know my thing for the longest time was the white wheels make tires last a little longer. Maybe it's orange wheels now. I don't know.
It could be, you know, white wheels. White usually reflects the heat and the light, so it doesn't get heated up quite as much. I can follow through that. That might be something.
Hey, it worked at Dover. I'll take that one.
And there we go. Our first driver potentially in our top 3. Well, Brandon Dayhoff pit a few laps ago, but Sean Happy going down pit road here as well. Let's keep an eye on him and let's see. I would imagine this would just be sort of a splash and go, if you will, here for the 52. And there's this pit box now.
Yeah, looks like 7's going around again.
Yeah, and our race leader, and it looks like Happy is taking tires this stage as well.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. See what kind of call it's going to be. He might be able to gain some time off from that. We'll see. Here's the biggest problem, though. We're on lap 36 of 43, so there's only 8 laps to go, and it's going to take at least 2, if not 3 laps just to get them warmed back up.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that call, but that's why they're out there on the track and we're up here in the booth, I guess.
Bryce Tucker now has extended his lead to 27 seconds to Travis George as he's coming up on Bobby Grady here, coming out of the carousel.
I would imagine Tucker's got to be pitting pretty soon. I mean, the longer he goes, the more he does have to fuel that truck up, even if it is just 8 to go here in the stage. But all the guys behind him have now come down pit road. But he stays out one more time. It looks like he might be trying to take advantage of some track position, but I'm looking at this track map here, and with the pace that he has, he's about to come up on a slew of lap cars that may slow him down here even more.
Yeah, Travis George just came over the radio too. He will be pitting right here.
What I like about this play, though, from Tucker is currently there's only 6 cars on a lead lap.
Yeah, your second, third, and fourth place positions are coming in to the pit road right now. So that really just leaves Bryce Tucker, I think, out there all by himself.
Yeah, I mean, everybody but the 6th place car right now a lap down. Now that will cycle back out once Tucker does elect to come down pit road. And I mean, he last pit on lap 25. We're on 37, so he's if
there.
Not this time, it should be next time. So there's no way he's stretching it 7 more laps. 6 more
Dang
crosses
out.
the line.
Currently behind Eugene Hawk. Trying to get the 5th place now. The 5th place driver now a lap down.
Coming up on quite a few lap cars coming through the bus stop.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be really tight right here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tucker does
slowed
the
him down
smart
just a
thing.
touch.
Yeah, it just does the smart thing, though. Again, you've got a 20-second lead, so no need to force anything. Keeps the nose clean, keeps the truck from underneath him, and continues to fight on another lap.
There we go. There's Bryce. He's gonna be coming down this time.
Currently got a 55-second lead.
Yeah, and he really
Travis
just needs a
George.
splash and go. I mean, that's not even a full can. He's not going to be on pit road I mean, the longest he's going to be on pit road is right here, that slow drive to your pit stop.
Watching that gap timer go down, 42 seconds now to Travis George. 39 seconds, still going down.
Yeah, Bryce Tucker coming into his box now, being real conservative. Yep, and there it is, splash and go. That's going to gain him a lot of time. Some of these drivers taking tires. So we got Bryce Tucker coming up through the S's, and Travis George still coming up on the penultimate corner now. So again, unless we have something catastrophic happen, I would say that this one is pretty much wrapped up. The fat lady is not singing yet, but they're definitely prepping the stage for her.
I'm in Bryce Tucker's shoes right now. I'm just hoping one clean turn after another. Don't overdrive it. Hit your marks. 24-second lead currently over Travis George.
Just 4 laps to go here now for Bryce Tucker. We will go through your top 5 here. The number 7 of Bryce Tucker. The 16. Oh, trouble in front of Travis George. In P2. Brandon Dayhoff scored P3. Eugene Hawk P4. Sean Happig P5, excuse me. Mike Kufel P6. KT McCann in 7th, followed by Aaron Douglas in 8th. Sean Wilder in 10th, and Bobby Grady rounding out the 10th place position here with just 4 to go. Coming to 3 this time by is Bryce Tucker getting ready to cross the line once again.
Battles on track right now as you're looking at Sean Wilder, battling with KT and also Aaron Douglas there for the 7th position. They got a 3-car battle going through the carousel. And that's all for position right now.
See if Sean Wilder makes the move here, pokes the nose. Doesn't go for the move just yet. Going to try to force KT into a mistake. Gets the run here, though. Going to have the inside line. Backs the corner up just a little bit too much, though. So KT going to get the run. '91 getting real loose on corner
Saves
entry.
it. Good save from Douglas there in the 91 truck. This battle's not over with Sean Wilder and KT.
Wilder looking for the move through the bus stop. KT getting hard on the brakes, locks him up just a little bit. That's going to offset them here in the bus stop, but Wilder able to make the pass in the 95. Contact with the Douglas. Sends the 95 around. KT not going to be too appreciative of that one. Your race leader, Bryce Tucker, coming down the carousel. Coming to the white flag. This time by. We were right on board with Bryce Tucker here for the final lap of the race.
Got 2 drivers right now with black flags. Trey Young in the 77. He's in 16th currently with black flag. And then Frank, the 11 truck of Frank Zimmel has a black flag as well. He's going to elected to serve it this time by, though, as he's coming in pit road.
See Tucker just taking it easy through the bus stop. Going down the carousel for the final time of the race. A little bit of contact up ahead.
Right into the wall.
Bryce Tucker comes down to the penultimate corner just one more time. We're going to take the checker flag here in round 16 at Watkins Glen. Bryce Tucker, your winner at the Glen. Travis George will hop on board with him as we see he's making his way down through the carousel now.
It's a little wide there. Able to regather it. Doesn't lose that much time. Travis George rounding out P2.
Brandon Dehoff just behind him, rounding out the podium here. Eugene Hogg getting sideways on the front stretch. Is that going to lose him a position? Sean Happick making the run. Sean Happick gets him at the line. Eugene making a terrible mistake on the last corner. Mike Kufel, P6. Wilder with a little bit of a comeback. He's going to get 7th place. Aaron Douglas, who saw that contact with KT, gets him to 8th. KT still finishes 9th. And Bobby Grady looks like he's going to be scored in the 10th place spot as we see the 21 go hard into the wall. What a finish there. Sean Happick getting a freebie at the line. See Bryce Tucker coming to a stop here. And
Oh, nails that outside or inside
yeah,
wall.
he's going to have to work on that a little bit, but Bryce Tucker going to burn it down. Sit tight with us here. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't get our top 3 finishers here to the booth. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
That truck won't pass inspection.
One. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we have all of our drivers set and ready to go for the interviews here. We will start with our 3rd place podium finisher, the number 51, Brandon Dehoff. An exciting race for a couple guys out there on track. You started 4th, you finished in 3rd. Talk to us, man. How does it feel to get the podium here at Watkins Glen?
Oh, it feels good, especially after so much hard work we put in. I was practicing all week and even jumping official races with MX-5s and BMWs just to get some practice on road course and just to get the feel of it. It was fun, very fun.
Yeah, and
I
like
know
said, go ahead.
I struggled at the that slam into the wall earlier. That was a blessing in disguise. Kyle, he was there. I tried to avoid him and just lost it through the whole bus stop and slammed the wall. But that was a blessing in disguise. Changed my strategy and it worked out.
Yeah, and we saw a couple guys out there having a little bit of issues. We know how tricky some of these road courses can be, but like you said, you put in the time, you put in the practice, and you were able to get it done. So I want to ask you, I'm going to ask the other two drivers as well, but I mean, how important were tires here? Me and Will were talking about it. You know, conventionally on the road courses, tires not that much of an issue, but it looks like a lot of guys out there electing to take tires at every opportunity that they could. Where it was tire wear something that was pretty heavy into effect tonight?
No, it was not in effect at all. It was just depends how much brake you used and if you locked them up or how much heat you put on them. If you took care of them, they would have lasted. The tires I was running was the same set since lap 11.
Gotcha, yeah, and that's what I wanted to get clarification on. Lap 11, you take tires, it comes out for you, and yeah, you're able to come away with the podium. So congratulations to you, man. That's going to be a huge points day for you. But before we let you on out of here, is there anybody you want to shout out or thank?
I like to shout out my team at Holy Bible Racing. They put in a lot of work. I want to thank HVRL for putting this on. And I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me this day to race with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And there you go. That is the number 51 of Brandon Dayhoff, able to come away P2 here at Watkins Glen. But now we will grab the number 16 of Travis George, who, again, pretty uneventful race, which is, in your case, a good thing. We've seen you make a couple mistakes, but you start in third, you end up in second place. Man, talk to us about your race. How does it feel to come away with second place here?
It feels great. Put on a lot of work here to try and come back from the last 2 weeks, because the 1 week I got myself cleaned out against the wall and then just a stupid mistake. Yeah, so it feels pretty good to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to ask you too. I mean, again, you started third, but I mean, do you think there was any key decision at all during this race that may have helped you secure a podium here tonight?
I did take 2 tires on the first pit stop, and I noticed it was maybe a helper because I stayed up in second for a while. And then I guess something happened between Tucker and Nava, so it kind of took him out.
Yeah, we saw Nava get involved. Well, Tucker and Nava both got involved in some unfortunate lap traffic incidents, so that helps.
Oh, is that what it was? I don't even know.
Yeah. Two separate incidents there on the same lap between those two, which helps kind of bridge the gap a little bit closer. But I guess my next question here for you: did you take rights or did you take lefts?
I took lefts.
Yeah, that's what I figured. If anybody was going to take 2, that's what they would do. So, yeah, man, congratulations to you. You get a podium, like you said. You start to gain a little bit more momentum from these last few weeks here. And before we let you on out of here, man, who do you want to shout out or thank?
Just the team for putting on practices so we can get the laps in, get the seat time we need. My wife for letting me do it. You guys for hosting, putting it all on and broadcasting.
Absolutely, man. We're glad to have you here for a second season in high velocity. Congrats again on your P2.
Thanks, bud. Yep. Have a good day.
Oh, cut him off a little bit earlier there, but oh well. We've got the number 7 of Bryce Tucker, your race winner here tonight. Qualifies on the pole. Has a few sketchy moments with some lap cars in front of him, but nonetheless able to get it done, man. Talk to us about your race. How does it feel?
Yeah, Watkins Glen and the truck. I don't know. It gets much more fun than that. It's a enjoyable experience. Wasn't expecting Nava to have the pace he did after the first stage. I thought, okay, I can just kind of do what I do and I'll be fine. And I came out of the pits and I was like, oh, look at Nava. And granted, I went in a little cautious and didn't want to mess anything up. And then he had some serious pace, and him and I started to have a pretty decent race there. And then we got into some lap traffic, like you said. And, you know, within a second of each other, you're trying to push and find that balance. And I saw he wrecked in the rear view. I got to look that back. I don't know exactly what happened, but it was unfortunate. And right after that, I got a slow down penalty for cutting the grass to avoid some stuff. But yeah, absolutely. Good times.
Yeah, and the same thing that happened to you happened to Nava. Unfortunately, he just was not able to come clean. A lap car got the outside wall there coming up the S's and came across and collected Nava in the right rear, and around he went. So again, unfortunate there. That battle was really turning out to be something special. And I want to ask you there, I mean, obviously it works out for you, but I want to ask you about your last stint pit strategy there. We saw quite a few guys were pretty much cutting the pit window there as soon as they were in that window, and you elected to stretch it out just an extra handful of laps and didn't take tires there on that last stop. How important do you think it was to stretch the fuel and not take tires there?
Yeah, there wasn't much pressure when I looked up and saw I had like a 25-second gap. I took tires on my first 2 stints. That was my first 2 pit stops. That was my plan all along, and then pit somewhere towards the end there, just depending on how the race is playing out, traffic, all that stuff. So I just pitted towards the end of my fuel run because there was really no pressure, to be honest.
Gotcha. Yeah, had quite the big lead there, especially after the incident there with Nava. So congratulations on coming away with the win, man. You, for the most part, dominated this whole race. Again, you had some close battling with Nava before he was taken out, but you and Nava were definitely the class of the field here tonight. So congratulations to you on the win, and that's going to definitely help jump some momentum there for you here in this chase. But before we let you on out of here, man, who do you want to give thanks to or shout out?
Yeah, thanks to the whole HVRL crew again. You guys do a great job in the booth and the admin, all the hard work, and it's just fun each and every week. So I appreciate everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Glad to have you on board. And again, congratulations here on another win in the Truck Series. We look forward to seeing you out there next week. Well, not next week, but the week after. So
Absolutely. Have a great night, guys.
yeah, you too. And there you go. That was your first place finisher here, Bryce Tucker. We've interviewed our top three, so now we'll go down the field. Sean Happick steals a fourth place away. We see Eugene Hawk making that crucial mistake there on the penultimate turn on that final straightaway. Eugene Hawk just gets a little bit loose, and Sean Happick wives by with his hand out the window saying, "Thank you, sir." Comes away in P4. Still, though, Eugene able to manage the top five nonetheless, and Mike Kufel, I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier on. He wasn't too confident in himself after, on the podcast, but he comes away with a sixth place finish. So great job for him. Sean Wilder again starts towards the back with that IPL penalty. He comes away in seventh with Aaron Douglas at P8. Had a little bit of contact there with KT McCann, but it sorts itself out and they finish 8th and 9th. And then Bobby Grady rounds out your top 10. We've got Andre Carvalho here in 11th, followed by Ryan Seabolt, Kenan Cook, David Meacham, and Matthew Chase rounding out your top 15. Andy Berry, Brad Dorr, Trey Young. They're going to be finishing 16th, 17th, and 18th. And then we've got Kyle Rogers and Aaron Creighton rounding out your top 20, followed by Zachary Tyler. We saw him get involved in a few issues tonight. The 4 of Dustin Bloodworth comes away in 22nd, followed by Frank Zimmel in 23rd, Danny Gross in 24th. 25th is Thomas Long. We saw Nava get involved in that incident there. He just parks the truck, so he's going to finish 26th. And then Greg Allen Moss going to round out your field tonight here in the 27th spot. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in and being a part of this awesome broadcast here at Watkins Glen. Again, as mentioned earlier, we do have Easter weekend coming up, so we'll be taking a break. But after that, we do resume back here on track. Chicagoland going to be our next race here in the Truck Series, so stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to that one. That's not a track that we really get to see too much anymore, so I know that one is going to be one hell of a race to watch. But nonetheless, we will have an off week for the rest of the week, and then we'll be, again, Chicagoland in the trucks, followed by Darlington in the Cup Series. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in and being part of yet another amazing broadcast here on the High Velocity Racing Network. This has been Bryce, Ray, and Will up in the booth, and we will see you guys next